Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're at the last segment of our show, but I'm so happy to have Rafe Margolin on the show for him to continue his legacy of the Margolin family of service to the community and to this great new transition to helping seniors, but not just seniors, but all of those with different transition in life with our real estate needs. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Rafe Margolin. Hôm nay Rafe Margolin có thời gian để tiếp tục về cái công việc trong cộng đồng Việt Nam, trong cộng đồng của mình về cái legacy của gia đình của Margolin. Mà hôm nay Rafe muốn chia sẻ với mình cái công việc của Rafe về là the Seniors Real Estate Specialist. Hôm nay Rafe có thời gian nói về rất nhiều cái thông tin rất là quan trọng về cho mình hiểu về Proposition 19, đó là cho mình vẫn giữ cái thuế đất của mình chừng nào mình được dọn nhà 3 lần mà cũng vẫn được giữ cái đó. Thêm nữa một cái chương trình kêu bằng aging in place, and cái chương trình aging in place á, là mình chừng nào mình lớn tuổi mình phải còn chuyển nhà, mình phải chọn cái nhà nào để cho mình vẫn tiếp tục ở. Chừng nào mình lớn tuổi mình phải còn xe lăn hay mình phải xài cái walker, phải có cái cầu tiêu lớn. Với chừng nào mình lớn tuổi mình nghĩ là mình không được ở cái nhà 2 lầu thì mình phải chuyển xuống, mình phải mua cái nhà nhỏ lại mà vẫn được cái cuộc đời rất là đặc biệt với có ý nghĩa. Rafe, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that? Can you share with our information once more?
Yes, thank you, Julie. My name is again Rafe Margolin, and you can reach me at Rafe M, which is RAPHEM at 7gables.com, or at 657-377-5636. And that's my personal email address as well as my cell phone number. And you can reach me, and I'm very thankful again to Julie and Little Saigon Television for having me here.
Well, what you've been offering to our community today is such a great service because, there's so many people in real estate and there's so many people who buys and sell property. But I think it's so important that, when a certain part in a transition in our life, we have to have someone who truly understands, where we're at. And, for you to have an additional bonus of having a specialty and formal education with a master's degree in gerontology, because I don't always see people, work in gerontology and then go into real estate, you know. So, because, that's a very novel combination, but I think a much needed combination. Can you tell me about what kind of value you think it brings to our senior community as there are going to be more seniors in the next 5, 10 years or 20 years down the road?
Well, I think it's very important to me. What I want to bring to you, the community, and bring to everybody whether they be a senior or they're approaching the age,
yes,
is knowledge. Because I would hate to hear from somebody like a friend or just somebody that I met at the age of 53 or 54 that says to me, "Oh, I just sold my home and moved," and then I found out about Prop 19.
I know.
So that they lost that prop value, the assessment value of their home. They got reassessed, which is what it's called. And suddenly, instead of paying something that they were paying on their home from 30 years back, taxes, say it was like $3,000, $2,000 a year. Now it got reassessed and they're paying like $6,000 when they could have waited 2 years.
2 more years.
Then, they didn't get the knowledge, or that they move into a home and it just doesn't have all their needs. There's homes I've looked at and I'm like, this home doesn't seem right for somebody that's older. I looked at a home recently. Unfortunately, a lady passed that I knew. She was in her 80s, and the home had lots of steps.
Wow.
Lots and lots of steps. And I was like,
and those are hazards.
Yeah, those are hazards. And other things you need to be aware of when you're aging in place too, that you don't think of. Steps are a definite hazard.
Yes.
But rugs can be a hazard if you're having trouble.
Like certain types of rugs too, with their higher raised and such too.
Right. So it's being aware of everything, in the home that you need to know about before you move in, and the financial effects of your decision making.
Well, you know, Rafe, you brought up so many things that, you know, I didn't really think about that being important thing to look at, you know, as if we needed to help our families transition to these homes. But again, thank you again for sharing this information. I'm definitely going to try to my best to recap this. Hôm nay Julie nói chuyện với Rafe Margolin. Rafe Margolin nói đó là cái mục đích mà Rafe muốn tới đây á, là bringing information, và cho quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV được cái information để cho mình làm cái mình mua đất để cho nó lợi cho mình. Rafe nói đó là một cái gì mà Rafe sợ đó là chừng nào mình 53 tuổi mình muốn bán nhà, chừng nào mình bán nhà hôm nay, ví dụ là cái thuế đất của mình là 2.000, mà chừng nào mình không có chờ tới 2 năm sau là tới 55 tuổi thôi mình bán, mình được giữ cái thuế đất đó là the assessment của cái thuế đất. Thì chừng nào hôm nay một cái gì mà quý vị nhớ đó là chừng nào quý vị gần 55 tuổi đừng có bán nhà liền, chừng nào mình chờ tới 55 tuổi đó mình có rất nhiều quyền lợi về cái Proposition 19, mà được giữ cái assessment của cái thuế đất của mình. Thêm nữa Rafe nói đó là lúc mà Rafe giúp mấy người cao niên mua nhà, Rafe phải coi cái nhà đấy có phù hợp cho cái người lớn tuổi không. Một cái ví dụ là chừng nào mình mua cái nhà mình thấy đó là có nhiều cái bước. Tại Julie làm trong ngành y mình biết đó là mấy cái fall đó, mọi người mà lớn tuổi đó mình té cái xương của mình nó không có nó không liền lại liền, thì cái đó là một cái step trong cái nhà đó, là mấy cái bước á, là cũng là một cái nguy hiểm cho người cao niên. Với thêm nữa Rafe nhấn mạnh đó là cái thảm, chừng nào mình mua nhà mình đâu có chú ý về cái thảm, mà thiệt ra cái thảm nó làm cho cái safety về cái an toàn cho cái người cao niên nữa. So again, Rafe, I'm trying my best to make sure I recap this because, you know, just to recap that, you know, the main purpose that you're here is not just to help seniors, but for us to understand that the importance of the life transition. You know, as I approach 50, and if I'm thinking about selling my house, this actually makes me pause a little bit. Do I want to sell now? And, you know, there's so many things for us to think about. And then if it is my final home, you know, is this going to be where I'm going to age in place? So right. I think there's so many words I learned today, Rafe. So I want to thank you one more time and your family for being such a light in especially the Garden Grove community, but also throughout community with all your volunteerism. I want to thank you for being a friend, because I think today you've given so much that will impact my family transition, because, you know, I'm in at, you know, my 40, I'm in that midlife crisis. My kids joke about putting me in a senior home, but I think if I'm not going to stay in a senior home, I should consider, you know, is a home that I'm living in, is a house that I want to age in place, or do I need to make that transition and come to a specialist like you? Once again, thank you for being here to educate our community and especially protecting our seniors. Is there anything you would like to say to our viewers today?
No, I just would like to again emphasize 5 wishes, whether it's English, Vietnamese, or if you need another language. It's just, and like I said, there's other programs also available. The idea, just have that information in writing. The worst thing I think is having your children at the hospital. One is authorized to make a decision or knows that the eldest and they were the one making decisions, and the others think that they're pulling mom off life support early. And one of them said, no, that's what mom wanted. You want to be able to say, here, it's in writing, this is what mom wanted, and we're making the decision for her based on her desires. And that just makes everything much easier. And if you're the one that's writing that, you're giving them a major gift.
Okay. Now, how do they get a hold of this book here?
They can go to the website, which is 5wishes.org. I believe they can order like a family package, and it's like something like $10.
So something very insignificant.
Very insignificant. They get like 5 copies of this, or something to that effect, as well as some other materials.
Do we have to get it notarized? I mean, what's the legality on this?
No, there's only like 4 states where it needs to be notarized.
Okay.
In the state of California, as long as you have 2 witnesses, it doesn't need to be notarized.
Okay.
You just need, what you need to do is have 2 witnesses that are not beneficiaries.
Got it.
Meaning that they're not benefiting financially.
Okay.
As you know, they could be family members, but they just have to be individuals that are not financially benefiting from the person that's passing.
Okay. Well, once again, Rafe, thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge, for your extended knowledge about gerontology, the transition of life. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Rafe Margolin rất là đặc biệt để cho mình hiểu được nhiều cái chương trình về của cái người Seniors Real Estate Specialist. Một lần nữa, Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã luôn luôn theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội và ủng hộ cái công việc trong cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả và chúc quý vị khán giả rất nhiều sức khỏe và may mắn. Xin cảm ơn.